Hello viewers, I'm SP and welcome back to StarVaders, where today we're trying out the Keeper. I'm pretty excited. This seems like a neat kind of robot thing. I guess there's not really a robot. It seems like a neat kind of magic summoning device. So, first time we cast a spell each turn, we get a poof, which gets us a mana, draws us a card, thus helping to keep the spells rolling. Theoretically. The spells are just on cooldowns, I guess. The mana is how we play the cards. Okay, well, in any case, let's hit it. And of course, at this point, we only play on Apocalypse. I think the difficulty is like pretty good on Apocalypse. It's pretty pleasing. There should be a level above this for like once you've actually gotten good at the game, which I'm still not. But I do wish that they forefronted this a little bit more and make you have to go through so much to get to it. Okay, so each round your card and artifact pool is modified by 3 randomly chosen packs shown here. Okay, so we got a spectral pack. This is like the pool of all things that are... Well, this is still a little unclear to me. So your card and artifact pool, the total findable stuff, right? Not that these are things that I should necessarily expect to see. But it's a good idea to be aware of what is potentially in the pool, except that you can only actually see the text of things you've already seen. So right now, it's just a bunch of mysterious stuff. But we know there's Purge Synergy, Shield Synergy, and Repeat Synergy type stuff in the pool. Okay. And then, given that we're making decisions here, so... Taking an upgraded card that purges to get you more cards seems like it's playing into the space, right? Yeah, I guess let's take the Flux Exhaust and then let's just take the 2 with the upgrades and we'll kind of feel it out from there. Okay, so do we want a new spell or do we want more cards? You know what? Let's try to get familiar with the spells. I really wish game developers don't do this shit. Don't tell me there's a chance to spawn tick. You gotta at the very least you gotta put the number on there. And if it's complicated or something, then you gotta explain at least a little bit the way in which it's complicated. Like if it's a different chance per enemy or if there's some other effect that changes the percentages or whatever. Like, you have to do a better job of expressing what's happening here, because this could mean anything from like a 90% chance to a 10% chance, and those are 2 completely different ideas, right? Like, this kind of stuff really frustrates me, and you still see it in so many games. All right, so we have Conjure, which gives or breaks a shield. And we want to be casting our spells basically like on cooldown, right? Because Poof is a cool card. It puts it in the draw pile, which is a little weird. But I guess that's like even more reason to sort of like preload it, because you don't know when the usefulness will arrive. Okay, so move 1 to 3 tiles or haunt another summon. We gotta first get a summon. So spawn a puppet. Okay, and this is the one that is live, so I can activate it to push it 1 tile in any direction. And then we also have movement abilities here, and then we blast. It's a lot of effort to do damage, but we have, in theory, opened up the ability to get a double attack off in the near future. Unfortunately, not right this second because of the clouds. So I guess like, okay, we can run you up. Well, it's just gonna hit the cloud. Man, I really hate these cloud enemies. Clouds are really, really frustrating. You know what? We'll do this differently. Let me just kill that guy now and try to get all the clouds on the table out of the way, you know? Alright, so we got our poof. We have 4 mana for this turn. Alright, so let's play a puppet. I am going to go ahead and do this now. I see no reason to wait, right? Okay, advance is exactly what I was hoping for. It lets us step this guy over to here. It's a pretty good start. And then... So sacrificing a summon, I assume sacrifice as an effect is not blocked by shields. And again, it does feel like I kind of want to be I want to be firing this on cooldown because I want to get the poof into the pile as quickly as possible. I needed another blast. Okay, well, I mean, all we can really do here is just like summon a puppet and wait. It's not super exciting, but without the ability to to fix the cloud situation. Yeah, it's a lot of it feels like a lot of cards to get anything done, which is a little frustrating. Way to come up with some better ways of dealing damage. That is the thing that is clear to me from this first battle. Okay, slash. Slash is a way of doing that, and as a spell, it's available repeatedly. Do we want to take another spell? Yeah, I mean, I want to fill up my repertoire quickly, right? And like, we're probably not looking for just any card over a spell. You'd want something that's rarer or that you're going to get with an upgrade on it or something like that. Okay, chance to spawn an auto bomb whenever you destroy an invader, honestly, is just like, it seems like purely good, so. This also sacrifices the summon. So. Just break a shield on anybody. Now we only get this sign magic once per turn. So I'm not super motivated to use slash right now. We do have a pretty obvious, just like walk forward. Sorry, I keep trying to select the unit. Walk forward and blow those two guys up. That's excellent. That really turned out well. Yeah, this autobomb thing is going to be fantastic for us. Well, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Let's draw for this. Yeah, only getting the ability to produce one puppet here is pretty awkward. Well, all right, so we'll set you there. Sorry, move you to here. Advance this guy. That's something, right? We're working, we're trying. Yeah, it's just it's a lot to spawn a body, then position the body, then destroy the body. I wish I had more rearrangement ability here. Yeah, I don't think I'm quite going to be able to catch 3 enemies in the explosion. Oh, so let's leech that. It's pretty easy to get to. It's like trivial to get to. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way for us to use the advance to force a 3. If we spawn our guy here, we can move to there and run the boomer to here. Yeah. Oh no, I'm actually out of mana. Shoot. Alright, well I will destroy these 2, and then we're going to have to... Obviously we have slash available, so as long as we can create a... Oh, they moved to different... Well, I mean, whatever, it's fine. Did I not? I feel like I did finish selecting. Okay, we're still pretty much dealing damage the same 3 cards way. Certainly not ideal. Starts the encounter on cooldown. Strike a random invader 15 times. Do we usually get 9 turns? I feel like we don't. Spawns a totem on any tile. Activate to draw 1 card. Huh. I think I'll take that over Meteor Fall, because I think Meteor Fall's not going to fire most of the time. So Cloudy does suck. Cloudy sucks a lot. But artifacts are really nice. Cloudy's going to be a really hard time for this setup in particular. Does Cloudy mean... So the thing I don't know about Cloudy is if it means just that there will be a lot of clouds on the table to start, or if it necessarily means that in addition to there being clouds on the table at the start, it also includes the cloud baking enemies. There's not like a glossary. Hold on now, there is absolutely a glossary. But this is like, where's, it's not a bestiary exactly, it's... Locked. Interesting. Okay. So there isn't a glossary of just like game terms. Some of the stuff that you would want is in there, but not all of it. All right, you know what? We're early in the run. If we fail this, you know, it's not a big deal to get back to this point. So just go ahead and do it here. All right, new guy, Fallen Angel Plus. Flies away 2 turns after spawning. When destroyed, you get +2 non-fatal doom, but even more stars. Oh. Okay, I don't know that I care, honestly. I think we're cool letting the Fallen Angels leave. Alright, so I don't need to use a thing for this. These are normal Migos. They're only going to move forward. Well, whatever. We'll just take our activate. Oh, I should have spent the conjure though. Boy, y'all lined up really well here. How do I want to take advantage of this? Okay, I'm allowed to just move you backwards. So we can do this, and then this, and then... Pretty okay slash. Clear a bunch of clouds that hopefully will be less annoying later. I should have summoned the totem on the first turn. And now I'm like still inclined to wait because I want to get the poof. But yeah, let's summon a body. Move in. Don't know that it super matters where I put this. Alright. And then... So I can move the totem around and blow it up, but I'd rather move my haunt back over. And then we can just... It's not like super sexy, but... It does get rid of some stuff. Okay. Let's just make sure we are done with those things. Now we just have these slow approach amigos, which shouldn't be too hard to deal with. So... Well, you know, my plan was to move this Migo back and step my my guy. Oh, actually, you can just move through enemies, apparently. I didn't realize that. Okay, even though this isn't going to kill the cloud guy, I think it's still pretty worth it. And again, just to get the extra poof into the deck. All right, so we got all the benefit we're going to get out of the totem, right? It does not recharge without us explicitly recharging it. So spending it to slash out all the clouds here, well, except for the one that it's on, seems okay. Put you down, just detonate you immediately. Then put you down. And I think just wait. Bank a mana for next turn and prepare to explode. Oops. Well, whatever. We can just use the activate. Alright, I'm starting to have the feel of it, but it still feels pretty bad. Mystery Bear is like always okay. Pea Shooter is always okay. Your cards that spawn entities are not discarded at the end of your turn is like fine in theory, except that we're almost always going to have to play them. I mean, a Mystery Bear is just kind of always good, right? Rarely great, always good. Haunt a non-boss invader without a shield. It is considered a summon while haunted, and then you can sacrifice it for targeting stuff. That's pretty cool. Start the encounter with 2 totems. It's not horrible. Spawn Clunker up to 4 tiles away and purge this card. Has a regenerating shield and draws 1 card when its shield breaks. That's fine. I think a pair of Bewitches is actually really good. And then we don't have the stars for the gotcha machine, so... Permanent shield to random invaders at the start of every turn. I think that's a pretty rough one, but we don't get the... like, we need the links in order to get the weird extra ending thing, right? I think that's a pretty bad permanent trait. That, like, really hurts. Well... trying to figure out which one I want to take. Who do I think is more annoying? You. Wait. Oh, without a shield. Without a shield. So first I have to open you up. Then I have to do this. Then I guess there's no reason the slash has to be this turn, except that I want to get it on cooldown, right? Launch a fireball upwards from the bottom of any column. This gets +1 repeat for each spell destroyed. I mean, I want to get the slash on cooldown now. And then you can just Yeah. Seems pretty okay. Get myself a puppet, walk up a step. Okay, yeah, certainly not the most exciting thing here. So... I definitely think we're gonna purge. Oh, you can just run them at I didn't realize that I could just do a body check. That's actually really interesting information. And I don't think that was in... We read that little briefing thing. I don't think that was in there. Alright, let's purge a wander. Then I guess you're going to recharge anyway, so... That's to activate a summon 5 or more times in a single turn. It feels to me like the flavor of that is intended to be a particular summon. I think the game has a lot of problems with stuff like that, where it's just like the achievements kind of don't work the way they seem like they're supposed to. Okay, so this was not like totally ideal. Let me strip a shield from you to create another poof. So you really need to produce another summon here, obviously. Or we need the other copy of that tactic. You always gotta draw all your bewitches at once, right? Well, feels like it should be one of these, but yeah, it's fine. Okay. And then... grab you. Yeah, I think that's, like, okay overall. We gotta try to get their numbers under control a little bit before we spawn another group of enemies, I think. So if we shielded our puppets, my assumption is if we shielded our puppets and then ran them into something, they would survive that and just lose the shield, probably. So you can just hug that dude. And then... I guess the thing to do is to Maker's Fury right into the boss, right? So let me draw another card. Okay, that's interesting. I can certainly purge this for more. Okay, so we have some options here. I do think this is probably something worth doing. Then I no longer have the Maker's Fury, but that's fine. We'll just purge the jam and... we can get a pretty decent slash off here, but unfortunately all it's going to do is clear a lot of shields. Still, I do think it needs to happen. Oh, actually, never mind. I don't have the movement. Shit. Well, I need to draw a card. So I think what I'll do is move this here. Okay. God, we're going to be out of mana after I do that. It clears a lot of shields, and that's really important. But... Yeah, I'm not using my spells optimally efficiently. I gotta remember to... Something's gotta cast every turn. Right, and we have plenty of ways to make that good and viable. Let's start with this. Okay. So the fact that the boss reshielded really sucks. I'm trying to figure out how I want to handle this. So we're going to need the blast. We're also going to need just like a headbutt from one of our units. I mean, we're going to want to do that. We're going to want to headbutt the boss. So I think I need... Gosh, I wish I had slightly different cards. Because if we explode right here, this thing survives, and it's quite difficult to deal with that. I think this thing's going to get a doom off, and there's nothing we can do about it. Alright, so we send all that stuff home, and then... I spawn... you somewhere. I mean, we already used the spell, so it's not critical that I spawn this. Obviously, drawing more cards is good, but like, not when you can't afford to play them anyway. Kind of removes the most critical part. Yeah. All right. You to here, slash. That does some good work. Then can activate you down and just break this guy up. I want to get to use my Maker's Fury, but I don't know if there's a way to... I don't think I can stop the Doom while also doing that. Yeah, I think I need to just put this guy here. Go for the detonate. It's not bad overall, right? Okay, it's like, come on, show me some explosions here. Show me some damage. All right, so we can totem down, draw a card, then detonate the totem. Let me totem down, draw a card, use the purge on, man, use the purge on what? On wander? Draw some cards, get another poof. Okay, that's a little better. So then we activate this again because the purge card re-energized it. Then we just detonate it, clear the Doom. And now we have some interesting options. I think that probably I want to go ahead and Maker's Fury here. And then we can... I mean, I can just activate you up and do a normal explosion. That seems like an okay way to wrap the turn. Where are you shooting at right now? I guess he's not shooting. He's just channeling Doom. They don't have to shoot when they do that, I guess. Okay, So my initial thought is bewitch this guy and then explode him. But that leaves me with 0 mana. We can. I mean, I can conjure first. Yeah, we can break your shield, bewitch this guy, and explode him. That's fine. That's an okay outcome. Lots of good friendly fire going on there. Okay. It's not terrible. But maybe the better thing to do is to just walk a puppet forward into, like, start blowing up this stuff. I mean, all we have to actually do at this point is kill the boss, right? So actually, I guess the sensible thing to do is totally this. And then at some point get the ability to hit the boss one time. Somehow. If I draw any movement at all. And I did. Blast each summon. Sacrifice and strike all adjacent tiles. You know, this does save us a considerable amount of resources, allowing each thing to just kind of become its own explosion. The only thing I worry about is the timing of end of each turn. And again, we know the game's not going to it's not going to give us clarity on that. At the start of each fight, permanently add a chant to your campaign deck. That's fine. It's not bad. First turn that would be discarded when played stays in your hand instead. I kinda want the Reaper. I think it's two really, really good effects. Get a free card removal each time you visit mins and ignore the minimum deck size. Okay, that's interesting. It does definitely, like, with this artifact, blast is a lot less important. And at the very least, purging the blasts could be useful. I don't know if I like slow start, like a permanent slow start on top of everything else that we have going. And maybe it's better to just take upgrades here. I'm going to. I worry that this might be too much trouble. I also don't know that I think the effect of that artifact is actually going to be all that great. Spawn an uncharged Oru. Activate to sacrifice. When destroyed, create a copy of Oru in your hand. But it's uncharged, so we don't have the ability to sacrifice. But we can do, like, this into that. Just start opening the battlefield up really, really nicely. And then so it can't take damage, but it can probably be sacrificed, right? We assume. And then I don't actually want to spawn a puppet because it'll just explode, so we just chill. Yeah, can absolutely still be sacrificed. Okay. Hey, look, it's Oru. Your friend and mine. That said... So, it's telling me we're going to get a Doom. Presumably the end of each turn thing here is not going to trigger when I need it to trigger. So we should manually blast just to make sure that gets off the table. We can spawn an Oru somewhere. Well, it's just gonna die, right? But when destroyed, it creates a copy of the Oru in my hand. We'll see how this works out. I guess sacrificed maybe is not destroyed. Maybe. All right, then we got to make sure that we de-shield you this turn, so next turn stuff can be good. I guess actually summoning this and then sending it up there is not going to do anything. Or maybe it is. Grants immunity this turn. Again, there's no clarity on how this stuff interacts with end turn effects. So we're just going to always have Oru is our thing. Well, what if I just paid 3 mana to blow you up? Alright, if this destroys an invader, it stays in your hand. Draw a card or draw a card. Yeah. We're playing Bewitch all the time. Drawing an extra card seems good. Do we want to go for an artifact? Yeah, the auto bomb seems like it will be helpful. Again, please don't give me a chance to do thing. Tell me what chance is. 3 of your cards gain the virus component. Okay, so 2 random virus invaders will replicate and spawn another virus. All right, so try not to play those while we're still working here. Easy enough. How do we want to start working these guys? Once again, it's a little tricky because we don't know what we don't know when the end of the turn is exactly. And then activate to sacrifice. I kind of think we want to just let everything sit as it is. Let stuff blow up at the end of the turn. Okay, so my blasts happen before the enemy attacks do. That's important to know. Wouldn't an auto bomb right here be super good? Let's break your shield. The Bewitch is virused. Yeah, alright, I guess I better not. We can explode one of you. I guess probably the thing that makes sense to do is to move here. We'll get those two. It would make my life a lot easier if none of these virus enemies still existed. So then we could play the virus cards with reckless abandon. Yeah, I guess we just drop you here to deal with the other group of enemies, and then I hold my mana. Okay, we have a non-virus Bewitch. I think that's definitely worth doing. Okay, how do we want to set up these ticks are definitely getting in the way. They're just blocking stuff. So I can drop you here. I can drop. If I don't blast you now, then when I drop puppets and try to move them into position to do other things, they're gonna get they're gonna move these ticks out of the explosion range, which is really annoying. Does the totem does go down on any tile. I suppose just spawning this here and then immediately activating it, show me a card. Gives me something. I'm gonna purge a normal blast. Yeah, like I'm looking for Bewitches, but Virus Bewitch is not ideal, obviously. The other ones... Okay, we'd have to cycle a little bit more aggressively. Not that it can't be done. Yeah, maybe I play Advance. Would I even move anything if I played Advance? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know that I really benefit. I guess I can move you over into one of these death tiles. Right, because that had the move tag. Shoot, that's annoying. Well, this will do this, and I'll just may as well just get the headbutt, right? See, that does count as taking a damage. And then at this point, you know what? Fuck it. Go ahead and put up another guy back there. Okay, no more viruses. But so many ticks. It's actually really wild how many ticks. Guess we'll put you down here, and then I'll do this now, just to try to open the space up some. So I'm going to use this thing to jump a summon into the explosion area back there, and then I think I want to just hold my mana. It's kind of interesting how the ticks are really defanged by you not having a persistent body. Not that they're ever terrifying or anything, but it really doesn't feel like they're accomplishing anything here. I'll put one of you down there, and then we'll just pass. Yeah, this auto blast thing is absolutely bananas. Especially with us drawing, apparently from Mystery Bear, the only legendary card that is available to us. During your turn, if an entity gets a shield, reduce the cost of a random card by 1. Interesting. Whenever you gain junk, reduce the cooldown of a random spell by 1. Also very interesting, actually. After the first time you play a card with repeats, add that many zero-cost copies in your hand. Boy, we don't have repeat. Like, if we could lean into repeat stuff enough, I could see this being very powerful. But the very creatively spelled baloney, I think, has some pretty obvious utility, given our permanent shield replenishment on the enemies. So an upgrade versus an artifact. I mean, I think we got to pursue the artifact, even if the difficulty on this one is maybe going to be a little higher. Oh, hey, a different spell. Reduce the cooldown of each spell by 2. The next spell you cast is destroyed. Well, that seems actually quite bad. Okay, so the rushers are 3 times as fast. That's fine. That's fine. So let's... I guess let's shield break you and bewitch you. And then there's no sense in doing anything else. You're just gonna open those 2 guys up at the end of the turn. May as well bewitch you too then. Seems like an okay start. Oh, they didn't both stay converted. It's only sorry, let me look at the wording here. It's only a summon while it's haunted. Yeah, it doesn't remain a summon after the thing comes off. That's shitty. Okay. So I mean, we have to hit these things this turn so that they'll be destructible next turn. I guess we'll just walk these 2 forward and... Alright, pretty good time for Slash to be off cooldown. If we can get a Bewitch here, which we might be able to. Ooh, having a little bit of a tough one. Well, I can assemble for another card. There it is. This card is just garbage. Mystery Bear, this was no good. Alright, it's a little something. The super fast guys are gonna be a problem. That'll blow up when we're good. Like that's taken care of. Should be the case that we can bewitch this and those both just explode. Did we still catch a Doom there? Didn't we? Huh. Okay. It's not ideal. Especially since this guy's just going to turn invincible. We really only have one solution to that, and it's probably not worth spending a bunch of resources to try to find, right? It's just a single point of doom. Guess I'll just pop one of these to get them open, and then... yeah, I guess it doesn't seem like I really want to do anything else. I should have purged the jump card. What am I doing? Well, I wanted to save up mana though too. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's right. So... yeah, see, the bewitching for the slash, it didn't actually kill that guy. But it certainly should have. Then we gotta clear the other guy's shield. Okay. So... if I bewitch one of these 2, the auto explode will get rid of them, and we can just walk the other guy out. Burn that, and then poof to get my mana back. Oh, I'm getting so distracted, right? I'm like playing cards to move my presence to reallocate my haunt, and not being aware enough about what I'm doing. All right, break the shield, get the headbutt. You're just gonna explode. That's no big deal. Win an encounter without playing any attack cards. That's definitely not correct. I just played a blast. Like, I know it doesn't have the attack tag on it, but that's another great great example of how the achievements aren't actually tracking the things that they clearly are supposed to represent thematically. No, we really don't have a lot of multi-traits. I mean, Autobomb is just really good. Yeah, Autobomb is just really good. It's like impossible to ignore how good that is. Lizard Soul, certainly not bad. Pea Shooter, certainly still not very good for us. Strike the tiles to its left and right and then give it a shield if possible. That's something. Draw 2 cards. If you are hunting a summon, recharge it and move it to a random tile. Maybe we take the Shrivel, like... It's certainly a way of doing more damage, right? Okay, and then we got a portal anyway at some significant discount. Were I to remove something, I guess it would just be a blast. I think that's actually an okay thing to do. Alright. Okay, the tick invasion, really not a big deal. Okay, do some work on the Mega Blob. Let's see, friendly Autobombs. Not so friendly, but it is relocatable. Each summon gains immune and push them all 2 tiles upward. That's actually pretty fun. I think this is a good opportunity to learn a thing. What are the order of the effects? Actually, hold on, if I hit levitate here. Yeah, okay, I basically like get a headbutt from the immunity. Or a headbutt with immunity, rather. How do I want to do this? Alright, let's grab you. I'm gonna slash off of that. Okay, a lot of explosives down here, and it doesn't matter at all. And I don't think I even bother summoning. We could purge something, but honestly, I think it's probably just end the turn. Okay. Bewitching, this guy feels a little bit of a shame because he's in the bomb already, but like, the slice would be pretty good. I guess we can do one of these first. I could drop an assemble kind of in their backfield. Draw me a card. Levitate pushes you 2 tiles upward. I do think the levitate's pretty cool. So we'll just get some headbutts here. Okay, that makes both of those explosions really a lot more compelling. And then like yeah, just grab somebody down there. I think this worked out really well, actually. Okay, that bomb is not in an optimal place. Yeah, it's a real shame to see it in a place where it can only ever affect one enemy. We can move it. But not really to a better spot. Certainly doesn't feel worth the card. I mean, I guess we could just take the headbutt damage. That's fine. That gets us clearance on that, and then place you here. Move you to there to deal with the shielded enemies, and just pass, I think. Alright, so nothing's got shields anymore. Everything is vulnerable. Choose any entity it strikes to its left and right and give it a shield if possible. So, let me grab this. I really wish I had the ability to create more entities here. So I take you, and I give you levitate. Then we use your natural move to here. I could shrivel, but actually it's probably better to just slash, right? And then I can put down a totem here, draw a card. Okay, and that's interesting. So the auto bomb is in a spot to do some good work. I guess, like, we can spawn this here, move it there, and maybe just let it sit. I don't know that it even makes sense to play the shrivel. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let the auto blasts happen here, and this bomb's not helping anybody. I do not have a lot of exciting stuff to do here. This is a pretty boring turn. So what I'm thinking is we're going to bewitch this thing. I'm going to break your shield. Then we're going to bewitch this thing. And then maybe just pass the turn. But I should spend at least one more point. So if I'm going to do that, I should also kill something else. So we do this here and then run the bewitch afterwards so that that's the thing that's haunted. And just end the turn. Once again, take ample advantage of our auto explosions. Not terrible, I guess. Technically could be worse on that bomb. I think we're going to be able to deal with a lot of this. Okay, so let's decube the last cube here. Really like to have no more cubes left over, and then we can use shrivel. Step you over. That thing's gonna. Oh no, that's not a That's not a card with the move tag. It's just a movement, which is different. And I guess burn this jam, and then auto blast. Obviously, we have certainly turned this deck into something pretty quickly. Yeah, okay, we do have 1 mana off. Okay. Is that super compelling? I mean, it's fine. Like, do it here. So let's place you, haunt that, and alright, remember, we only have to kill the real enemies. The ticks don't matter at all. And they are blocking the mini blobs quite effectively at the moment. So we can drop this here, get a card. May as well just go off now. So if I put you down here and then I levitate, does this work? Yeah, okay. The body check does happen. Like, the thing tries to move up to, hits the enemy, does a point of collision damage to each of them, and then dies because it's over an open tile, I guess. Purge the first tactic played each encounter, but gain a phantom copy of it in your hand each turn. Oh, that would be interesting. Getting a for sure normal guy summon, or for sure beguile. Yeah, those are both really compelling. Whenever you channel or destroy an entity that's channeling Doom, gain mana. I think the Haunted Mirror is actually really cool. Alright, so kind of a, slightly rocky first couple of acts there as I got the hang of driving this thing. But I think we understand it now, and as ever, the artifacts we've chosen are making a huge, huge, huge difference. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Do I think this thing has what it takes to go all the way to the end of that ridiculous heart-spawning boss battle? Honestly, probably not. The fact that it can spawn things that are channeling Doom on the back row is going to mean that any mech that's not shooting is going to have a legitimately very terrible time. And we're certainly not shooting. But who knows? Maybe our power pool will come around. Come back next time to see if it does, and we'll see you then.